think that all English majors should read not necessarily one book, but I'll say one genre of book, and that's a passing narrative. Because I think that those kinds of books that either deal with how a person can perceive as either black or white, or that there is gender bending or cross-dressing in the text, or if there is a kind of class passing, or what in the 19th century they called slumming, it really brings up for them questions about what is identity altogether. I think that one of the things that's challenging about teaching students is when they come in with an expectation of, okay, I only want to know what's going to be on the test and what do I need to do to get an A. And I think it's much more productive to think about how students can shape the knowledge that they're learning, can get a number of skills that they might need for the future, and not just think about performing well on a single assignment. I really became excited about African American literature in the 19th century when I was an undergraduate student. My professor had an assignment about this writer named Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, and unfortunately, even though we have a lot of her published works, we don't know a lot about her personal life. And so my teacher set up an assignment to say, can you create some kind of diary of how you imagine her personal life might have been? Can you use some of her published letters and start to imagine what her life was like? And I became really excited about that project. And in fact, I want for one of my career goals to be to write a biography of Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. So that might be the third book or so down the line. I was preparing to become a high school English teacher. I did 3 years of preparation and education courses, learning how to make a bulletin board, how to deal with students with special needs, and finally one of my professors said, have you ever thought about graduate school? And indeed I hadn't. So it was really great to have that kind of mentoring. But I also for a while worked as a greeting card writer at Hallmark Greeting Cards in Kansas City, Missouri, and they made me an offer to be a full-time employee there, which I turned down to go to graduate school. Read 500 easily. I would say I went to Spain a couple of years back, and I much prefer Barcelona to Madrid. Maybe just because I arrived in Madrid on a Sunday and most things were closed down, so I didn't get the best side of the city. But I think that I prefer not to go back there. OSU is a great place to have access to a number of different resources. And so I think that its large size can really make a number of things accessible. You could study almost anything. You have access to really great faculty. And so I think that it's a mix of the resources and the faculty and students here that make it great.